Yes, you're watching the South Australian Sports Show Cage Rugby Union. I know. Tough.
Brutal.
That's how you describe it? Tough?
Brutal.
And I would too if I was sitting next to Jason and Richard was within striking distance from me. Hey, fellas, thanks for coming in. Let's start with
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Richard, I mean, you've stepped into the coaching role, mate. You're a 10-year premiership player with the club at Brighton. How have you found the transition, mate, from playing to coaching? It's your second year in the spot.
It's really enjoyable, first up, but obviously it's pretty frustrating as well, knowing what you expect of people, and then what sort of transpires on the field sometimes can be a little bit. If I had hair, I'd definitely be pulling it out sometimes. But all in all, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's a great way to stay involved with the game, and keep. I'm very passionate about rugby, so it's a great way to keep involved with the boys and have a few drinks every now and again. And,
Gee, the club Brighton's a famous club. Their achievements have been enormous.
Yeah, it's been
how many premierships have they won?
I think we're in 32 at the moment.
32.
Just
the one with Richard coaching, no?
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Exactly.
Hey, mate, Burnside, 34-19. Got them, in the end, it looked comfortable, but it wasn't that way. Had a couple of guys in the sin bin for a while.
Probably a period there for 10 minutes in the second half where we had a couple of blokes sin bin at the same time, so we were playing with 13 men against 15, which is, as I said, pulling your hair out. That was one of those moments. But the boys were just they were just on point. They defended really well, just knocking over everything that came at them, and in the end we sort of ran away with it with a couple of good tries. It was a great day for us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, Jason, you're with Rugby Union SA.
Yes, KG.
Do I detect an accent there?
A little bit of a South African accent, yeah. Absolutely.
How long have you been in Adelaide?
3 years now.
And how long with Rugby Union?
Just over two. So yeah, starting to get really comfortable in the role and enjoy my time there.
And what about the numbers of the juniors and the state and the health of the Rugby Union in Adelaide?
Yeah, look, it's a footy state, so it's tough for us. It's an uphill battle, but
good challenge, though.
Absolutely, great challenge.
Yeah.
And the beauty of our game is that we focus on values, and we find that when the youngsters get involved in it, they can't get away from it. It's just the fact of trying to find financial backing to get out there and get the game out to them. Absolutely.
Hey, when he talks about that, Rich, trying to get the juniors into your club, I mean, all sports are trying to get them. We've seen the AFL go to AFLW now. Basketball's trying to get in there, netball. Everyone's trying to get a slice of the action, and Brighton's no exception.
Yeah.
That big footy club down there as well.
Yeah, as Jay said, it's very hard. But we're lucky that we have a good culture in the club where a lot of parents want their kids to be involved in rugby. Our club junior numbers are really good. You'd love to see more kids coming through, but as you said, like the money they spend on Auskick and all these programs, it makes it very difficult to get kids back into rugby. As Jay said, though, once kids do play rugby, it's a great game. It's got an image of being tough and hard and a bit nasty sometimes, but in reality, it's a good game that any body shape can play. If you've got the little fat kid, the big tall kid, it's a little bit uncoordinated that probably hasn't got a place in Aussie rules, can sort of have a real good role in rugby.
So Jason, what's Union doing to try and get more kids into the game? You're running clinics and all that sort of thing?
We've got fantastic programs. We've got a program that we run at the moment called Game On, where our development officers go into schools.
Yep.
That's actually government funded, which is great.
Oh, that's great.
So it doesn't cost the school anything for us to get out there and run these programs. And then obviously there's that transition from there into wherever the closest club is, and trying to give them as much game time as possible.
So you're getting off your backside and getting things done?
Absolutely. Yeah, every day we're out there.
Mate, you're out at Elizabeth. They won Division 1.
Yes, year. I moved up there to coach Elizabeth this year, yeah.
Brighton is a big rugby union place. If you drive past it, you see it there. You can't miss it. It's on Brighton Road.
Absolutely.
Elizabeth, what's the perception of rugby out that way?
It's always a surprise when we see people and they say, "Oh, is there rugby around the corner?" That's fantastic. So we don't have that prominent position. I think Brighton's one of two clubs that are really out on main roads that people can see when they drive past. The rest of us have to do a little more work to make sure that everybody knows where we are and what's happening, and on game day when things are happening, make sure that it's out there and everybody knows where to find us.
All right, your final, mate, was a little bit closer than Richard, so it came down to the last couple of seconds, really.
Yeah, Rich was saying pulling his hair out. For me, it was a coach killer. I was playing on the field at the time as well, so that
How did you do
more.
both, for goodness sake?
Don't ask. It's
a lot of talking. Yeah, okay, yeah.
It can be touchy at times. Yeah, look, Woodville, all credit them. They came hard at us right till what we thought was the end. That they scored and went ahead. with I think there were 3 minutes left in the game. We got to kick off, and unfortunately, one of those things, just ball was in the air. We managed to get it back. We managed to hold on to it and went on to score just before the end. So, yeah, very I'm nervous just talking about it now. It's crazy.
Hello, mate. For you, the captain, where's he at the moment?
He's in France. He's playing a season in France. Don't ask me where, but somewhere down the south of France he's playing.
Beautiful.
Our vice captain's gone over to the UK, just on a bit of a holiday, not playing. And I was basically the last guy off the rank.
We've seen it a little bit. I mean, AFL's the big picture when you talk about the dominant sport here in South Australia, and you go, well, they've embarked into China, and you go, well, that's their world as far as they've gone in the world, whereas rugby union, pretty much anywhere in the world. So when you're out recruiting the kids, we're talking about your captain's gone to France to play, you're talking to the kids at the school, it's that, okay, we're not going to sell you on making the big money here in Australia, but there is the big money overseas and you've got a chance to see the world. Does that engage the kids more?
Absolutely. And now with the opportunity of rugby sevens in the Olympics as well, there's a chance to, so you've got the chance of travelling anywhere in the world. Rugby clubs, if you're good enough, will bring you over and they'll find you jobs, they'll find you a place to stay. So it is an opportunity to see the world just by playing that sport. And now, obviously, opportunity to win Olympic gold is also a big draw card for the sevens.
All right, the girls were able to do that for us at the Olympics, by the way. Was there good feedback from that? Sometimes you win a medal at the Olympics and everyone says, oh, that'll really launch the sport forward. But it didn't really happen for hockey, and hockey's been dominant in that window. Did it have an impact on rugby?
Oh, it's been fantastic from a girls and women's perspective. The numbers we've seen coming out to play women's rugby, and Adelaide Uni have got a side in the National Women's University Sevens, which was launched this year off the back of the success in the Olympics, and they've had a fantastic turnout. I think they had 200 girls come out for one team. I mean, it's just incredible to see the numbers and the response to a great win by a fantastic group of women in the Olympics.
We've had our first Brighton's women's team in 20 years as well, so a lot of those girls have come down from another club, but we've picked up another probably 10, 15 girls from the area to play in that team. And on a side note, there's a girl, Mackenzie Sadler, who's a local girl here who's now in Queensland studying, but she's just made the Australian Sevens team as well. So there's definitely as you're talking about pathways, there's definitely a pathway for anyone. Really.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the girls from our University Sevens team in Adelaide is playing for the Australian side this weekend. She's been called up as well, so looking forward to that.
Did you two guys play against each other this year?
Yeah, for about 15 minutes.
That's not what I've been told. You tried to bash the crap out of each other.
I'm the old man. So. No, I was a substitute off the bench last resort, sub, and got wheeled on a few times and tried to run into me.
It's always fun playing against Rich because you can hear wherever he is from anywhere on the field. So because you got that relationship with somebody playing against, there's going to be chirps coming from the back of rucks or from back play somewhere. So yeah, got to get my own back somehow.
One of the great things about rugby union, I know it's big in Sydney, big in Queensland, it's making inroads here, is the camaraderie of the guys after they finish. I mean, you guys got some light banter going now. It's almost amazing how people watch the game and go, how could you guys even talk to each other after that? But afterwards, it just seems to be great friendships that are made out of it.
Yeah. It's very much a case of what happens inside those four lines stays there.
That's sport, though, isn't it?
That's big on the values that we put out there with rugby, and it's about a culture of, you're going to go out there. It's a physical sport. There's going to be confrontations, but it doesn't need to be nasty. We keep your focus is on the ball, and it's all about the ball. So after the game, you walk off the field and we can have a crack, and it's, Rich, you lit me up out there today, mate. It's got to be your round.
He never said that.
He let your tyres down, mate.
Having said that, didn't you have a couple of players in the sin bin late into?
We did, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, a couple of funny refereeing decisions, I think it was. It just... Every now and again it happens.
Yeah, of course it does.
The game, obviously, and a good thing for rugby too, is it's cleaned up a lot now. One of the symbians was the no arms and a tackle, which is obviously dangerous. It used to be, I never used to use my arms when I was tackling. So those little things, those aspects. It sounds like yellow cards. It's something for rough play, but it was no arms and a tackle and not rolling off the ball. So it
wasn't any sort of bang, bang, bang.
No punching anymore. It's all pretty tame.
You've got a good look on rugby, haven't you, mate?
Well, it does happen.
Before we let you go, Justin, if I want to get involved in rugby, what's the best way? for the schools that want to get in touch with you?
The skills
or
that want to get, just contact the office. So Rugby Union SA, and it's easy. We've got Facebook, we've got the website, we got all our details are up there. So easy to get involved. We're happy to come out anytime. We custom our program to come and fit into whatever the school's day looks like, and absolutely any opportunity to come out and to share the beautiful game that we love with the youngsters out there.
All right. Appreciate you coming in, boys. Well done.
Good on you, boys. Well done.
Stay with us. Still a bit to come on the show.